Oh, look at that beauty axe that Jeff Ward got me a nice hickory handle for. Thanks again, man. Woo. But today on Questions Nobody's Asking, let's put a 1010 up against a 1200A. How's it going, folks? So, like I said, let's put this 1010 up against this 1200 automatic. They're not exact same CC. 1010's like 54 or 55, and this one I believe is 58 cc's. But that's a point saw. That's electronic ignition. This one's a little bit slower RPM. That's a little bit quicker RPM. That's like late 70s, early 80s. This one's like early 70s. So, I mean, just interesting thing. Canadian saw versus American saw. So, off the bat, let's start off with styling. I mean, they both have their patina to them, and they both look very nice, if you ask me. So, honestly, I can't give any points for looks personally. I'll have to let that to you guys in the comments as to which one looks better. The Pioneer's a little dirtier, but I mean, that's the way it goes when you use these things. The 1010's obviously nice and clean because I've just got to put that to work, and gosh, she's a pretty saw. Ergonomics, as for like the way she's put together and usability, they both have a felling sight on their recoil. They both have a manual override, though I personally like the position of the Pioneer or the Homelight or Lombard style versus the Mcculloch style where you're pushing in. I find it's easier to push down. You get more momentum and force and leverage pushing down versus trying to push in. So on that account alone, I'm gonna have to give that point to the Pioneer. Starting ability, they both have a choke, neither has a primer. Both very similar carbs, but they're both Tilson. This one actually might be a Walbro SDC. And they're both very similar size, both very similar weight. So, you know, like I said, they're just going to give that one a point for the styling. And for the ergonomics, though this one has the chain brakes. So for features, we're gonna have to give the extra features because this one does have a throttle lock, and most people don't realize it's just you pull this back and that's your throttle locker, and then you have that. So this one has a beat for features just by the throttle locks, so we got to give that to Mcculloch for the features. But in the wood, let's see how they perform. They both got a 24-inch bar. This one may be a little bit duller than the other one. Like, that's a newer chain. I touched them both that, but you know what I mean. You have to do a lot less to one that's been worked a lot less. So anyways, let's put it in the wood and see what happens. All right, so today's cast of kindness, I want to give it to my good buddy Johnny. He's actually got a small little YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below. He doesn't really post too much, but he posts some stuff of his projects, like putting duck truck motors into pickup trucks and stuff like that. Very cool fella, smart and good at tinkering. But he recently bailed me out when I had that problem at the side of the road. You might have seen that short I did with the trailer where the shoe kind of went off into the field for a little bit of a jaunt. Anyways, he came and rescued me with his big floor jack. We were able to get that loaded triple mix up in the air and put a new tire on. And you know, he's been known to do that for his friends. He's a good guy that you know, he goes out of his way to make sure everybody's well off and looked after, and if he can. And he's a family man and a community man, and he works hard with his family and his in-laws farm and whatnot. So cast of kindness goes to you, Johnny. You're a darn good fella. You're a gem, matter of fact, and you know, you're more than well deserving of this cast of kindness. And I wish I could have given to you sooner, but you know what? The other day was just the perfect opportunity for me to come up here and talk about you a little bit and let these good folks know that I got one heck of a good friend there on the third line. I think the Mcculloch took it. That first one I let off, even on that last one I let off at the end, that's kind of a bad force of habit of mine. Well, a good force of habit, but for when you're trying to go fast, I guess that's bad. Well, I think I'm going to have to give today's run to Mcculloch. I haven't looked over the video, but it felt like it cut faster. It might be closer than I think, but we'll see. We'll let you guys decide in the videos there who's the real winner. But I think Mcculloch took it there. I mean, it started easier too. Probably would have started first bowl if I didn't choke it, but I choked because this one needed a choke, so I figured, what the heck. So I got a point for first bowl, and I think it did cut a little quicker. Though I'm not hurt by it because I love Mcculloch just as much as I love Pioneer. And you know what? I'll keep using that just as much as I'll use that because it cuts just as well. And it's been sitting since the winter, so a little bit of wake-up time might be all that that's in order for that to catch up. Then again, it's points, and electronic ignition, you know, it fires a lot harder than the points does. So it's just kind of the way it is. I could always upgrade that too, and that might be an interesting more competition. Though we'll leave it be for now. Same size package is kind of what I was kind of going for there. You know, they're about the same compactness, you know, though there is like a 3cc difference between the two. So I'm gonna get to work and get some trees and logs loaded up and cut down and have a good old time and maybe swing this beauty of an axe at Jackson again, buddy. Anyways, all you guys take her easy and be safe.